Have you ever sent a text and then stared at your phone like it held the answer to your entire existence? You hit send, then you wait. Minutes pass, hours pass, days pass, and that silence becomes louder than anything they could ever say to you. You start asking yourself a question that slowly eats you alive. What if they never come back? What if this silence is exactly who they are now? And more importantly, what if the thing you thought would bring them back actually made them disappear forever? If that thought has ever lived in your chest, if that question has ever kept you up at night, then this video is for you, but not for the reason you think. Let me tell you something right now. You are not broken because someone left you in the dark. You are not worthless because the phone stayed silent. And you are definitely not crazy for feeling everything you are feeling right now. Those feelings are real. That ache is real. The confusion is real. And somewhere inside of you, there is a voice that has been screaming for an answer, for a reason, for a way to make sense of something that feels completely senseless. That voice is not wrong. That voice is asking the right question. The question you really need to answer is not whether they will come back. The question you need to answer is something far deeper than that. And by the time this video ends, you will know exactly what that question is. Here is what you need to understand. You came here because somewhere along the way, you heard about something called the no contact rule. Maybe someone told you that if you just stop reaching out, stop chasing, stop waiting by the phone, something magical will happen. That they will wake up one day and realize what they lost. That they will miss you so deeply that they will come running back into your arms. And you held on to that idea like a lifeline because it gave you something to do with the pain. It gave you a strategy, a plan, a reason to keep going. But here is the part nobody talks about. That strategy was never really about getting them back. It was about getting yourself back. And most people never figure that out until it is far too late. The truth is, you have been waiting. You've been waiting for a text, a call, a message, anything. And every time your phone lights up, your heart jumps, and then it crashes the moment you see it is not them. That cycle is destroying you, slowly, silently, but completely. And the worst part, you do not even realize how much power you have already given away. You gave someone else the ability to determine your mood, your peace, your worth, and that is the real reason you are here, not to win them back, not to learn a trick or a technique, but to take your power back, to find yourself again in the middle of all this chaos. Now, I want you to promise me something. If you are going to watch the rest of this video, watch it with an open mind. Do not watch it hoping it will give you a script to send them. Do not watch it looking for a way to make them regret leaving. Watch it because you deserve the truth. You deserve to understand what is actually happening inside their head. You deserve to understand why they did what they did and why silence feels so loud. But more importantly, you deserve to understand what this is really doing to you. Because once you see the full picture, once you understand the psychology behind it all, something inside of you will shift, and that shift will be the most powerful thing you have ever felt. Here is what I am going to show you today. I am going to break down exactly who avoidant people really are. Not the version you created in your head, but the real version. The psychology behind why they pull away. Why the no contact rule works differently on them than you think. And what actually happens when you try to use silence as a weapon against someone who is already comfortable with silence. But more importantly, I am going to show you what you should actually be doing instead. Because the answer to your pain is not waiting for someone to come back. The answer is becoming the person who never needed them to come back in the first place. If you stay till the end of this video, you will walk away with clarity, with understanding, and most importantly, with power. The kind of power that no one can take from you, the kind of power that changes everything. So do not scroll away. Do not convince yourself that you already know what I am going to say. Stick around, because the truth I am about to share with you might just be the thing that sets you free forever. And you deserve that. You have earned that. Now let us begin. So let us talk about what you are really feeling right now, not what you think you should be feeling, not what other people told you to feel, but what is actually living inside of you, because that is where this journey begins. Picture this. You wake up in the morning and the first thing that enters your mind is them. Not a good morning thought, not a peaceful thought, a thought that punches you in the chest before your feet even hit the floor. And from that moment, the day already feels heavy. You go through your morning routine, but your mind is somewhere else, somewhere in the past, somewhere in the memories that used to make you smile and now make you bleed. You brush your teeth and catch your own reflection, and for a second you do not even recognize the person looking back at you. That tired eyes, that hollow expression, that weight you carry in your shoulders like you are holding up the entire world alone. You check your phone, not because you want to, because you have to. It is compulsive. It is automatic. Your hand reaches for it before your brain even gives the command, and you scroll through your messages looking for their name, looking for something that is not there. And every single time the screen shows you nothing from them, a little piece of you breaks. You try to tell yourself it does not matter. You try to tell yourself you are fine, but you are not fine. You are walking around with an open wound and nobody can see it. That is the part nobody talks about. The way pain hides itself in plain sight. You go to work, you smile at people, you have conversations, you answer emails, you function. On the outside, no one would ever know that inside you are falling apart, because you have become an expert at pretending, at holding it together, at showing up for everyone else while slowly disappearing from yourself. And the worst part is the night, because during the day you have distractions, you have noise, you have people around you. But when the lights go out and the house goes quiet, there is nowhere to hide. The thoughts come, uninvited, relentless. They play like a movie you cannot stop watching. The good times, the bad times, the moment everything changed, the last thing they said, the last thing you said, the way they walked away like you meant nothing. And you lie there in the dark asking yourself the same question over and over again. Was it ever real? Did any of it ever matter? Was I ever enough? That is where you are right now. In that bed, in that silence, carrying all of that inside your chest with nowhere to put it down. And I need you to hear me when I say this. You are not weak for feeling this way. You are not dramatic. You are not asking for too much. You are a human being who loved someone. And love always leaves fingerprints. Love always leaves marks. And those marks take time to heal. They do not disappear overnight just because someone decided to walk away. There is something else you are feeling that I want to name. It is the feeling of being forgotten. Like you were a chapter in their book and they turned the page so easily, like you never even existed in the first place. You see them moving on. You see them living their life, smiling in pictures, laughing with friends, acting like nothing happened. And you are sitting there with scars they cannot even see. That comparison is killing you, slowly, systematically, but it is also a trap. Because their public story is not their private truth. No one shows the full picture on social media. No one posts about the nights they cannot sleep. No one announces that they are falling apart when everyone expects them to be fine. But I know you, and I know what this is really doing to you. You are losing yourself in the process. You are shrinking yourself down to fit into the space they left behind. And that is the real tragedy. Not that they left, but that you are letting their leaving define who you are becoming. You are carrying them in your head when they do not even carry you in their heart. And that is not love anymore. That is punishment. You are punishing yourself for someone else's choice. The waiting is the worst part. Waiting for a call that may never come. Waiting for an apology that does not exist. Waiting for closure that they will never give you. And you tell yourself that if you just wait a little longer, if you just hold on a little stronger, something will change. But waiting without direction is just slow torture. And the longer you wait, the more of yourself you lose. So here is what I need you to understand. Everything you are feeling right now is valid. Every tear you have cried in private. Every moment you pretended to be okay when you were breaking. Every text you almost sent and stopped yourself from sending. That pain is real. That confusion is real. And you do not have to pretend it does not exist anymore. You do not have to act like you are fine when you are not. Because in order to heal, you first have to be honest about where you are. And right now you are in the storm. But storms do not last forever. And I am going to show you the way out. So now let me ask you something. Why did you click on this video? What made you stop scrolling and decide to give me 8 minutes of your life? Be honest with yourself for a second, because the answer to that question is going to tell you everything about where you are right now. Maybe you just started the no contact rule. You made the decision 3 days ago, maybe 3 hours ago, and you are sitting there with your phone in your hand, fighting every urge in your body not to reach out. Your fingers are shaking, your chest is tight, and every single second feels like an hour. You keep telling yourself to be strong, to stay firm, to trust the process, but inside you are screaming. You want to send one message, just one, to ask if they are okay, to remind them that you exist, to break the silence because the silence feels unbearable, and you do not know if you can keep holding on much longer. Or maybe you have been doing this for weeks, maybe even longer. You started the no contact rule with full confidence. You told yourself that you would not break, that you would be different, that you would show them what they lost by walking away. And for the first few days, you felt powerful. You felt like you were taking control. But now that feeling is fading. The silence is getting louder, and you are starting to wonder if this is even working. You are looking for signs that are not there, analyzing every silence like it means something. And the doubt is creeping in, slowly eating away at everything you believed when you started this. Maybe you are not even doing no contact yet. Maybe you are just thinking about it, trying to decide if you should. You are torn between wanting to walk away and wanting to fight for what you had. You do not know if cutting them off will bring them back or push them further away, and that uncertainty is keeping you stuck, paralyzed, unable to move forward and unable to go back. Or maybe you are the one who got left behind. They did the no contact on you. They disappeared without a word, and you have no idea why. You keep replaying everything, trying to find the moment it went wrong, trying to find the mistake you made, trying to understand what you could have done differently, and you are sitting here wondering if they will ever reach out, if they will ever come back and explain, if they will ever give you the closure you desperately need. Every single one of these scenarios is real. Every single one of them is valid. And I want you to know that there is no wrong reason for being here. Whether you came because you are desperate to get them back, or because you are desperate to understand what happened, or because you are just looking for some kind of answers that can help you sleep at night. You are not wrong for wanting those things. You are human, and humans do not walk away from things they truly cared about without a fight. But let me tell you something that might surprise you. The fact that you are here right now means something important. It means you are still thinking. You are still searching. You have not given up on understanding. And that is a sign of strength, not weakness. So many people who go through this just bury their head in the sand. They pretend it did not hurt. They pretend they do not care. They scroll past anything that reminds them of the truth and keep moving like nothing happened. But you stopped. You came here. You decided to face this head on instead of running from it, and that takes a kind of courage that most people will never understand. You are not here by accident. Something brought you to this moment. Something inside of you knows that you deserve more than confusion. You deserve more than silence. You deserve to understand what is really happening, not just on the surface, but deep down, in the places where this pain actually lives. Because understanding is the first step to healing. And healing is the only way to become whole again. The reason you keep searching for answers is because somewhere inside of you, you already know that getting them back is not the real goal. You know that even if they came back tomorrow, if you do not understand what went wrong, if you do not understand who they really are and who you really are, the same pattern will just repeat itself. You are smart enough to see that, and that is why you are here. So, whatever brought you to this video, own it. Do not be embarrassed by it. Do not judge yourself for it. You are allowed to want answers. You are allowed to want closure. You are allowed to want them back. But by the time this video is over, you are going to want something even more. You are going to want yourself back. And that is going to change everything. So now let us slow down for a moment and talk about exactly what the no contact rule is. Because before we can understand how it works on different types of people, you need to know what it actually means. Not the version you heard from a friend, not the version you read somewhere online, but the real definition of what you are actually doing when you decide to go no contact. Here is the simplest way to put it. No contact means you stop reaching out completely. You stop texting. You stop calling. You stop sending memes. You stop replying to their stories. You stop finding excuses to run into them. You stop checking their social media every 30 minutes. You remove yourself from their world entirely, not just physically, but digitally, emotionally, mentally. You become a ghost in their life, present in the world, but completely absent from theirs. That is what no contact is at its core. It is a wall, a boundary, a line drawn in the sand that says, I am done chasing you. I am done waiting for you to choose me. I am done begging for scraps of attention from someone who could not even give me the basic respect of a conversation. It is a statement, a powerful one, but it is also a statement that only works if you mean it. If you are doing it, hoping they will notice, hoping they will feel the void you left, hoping they will come running back, then you are not really doing no contact. You are just playing a game with yourself. Now, let me tell you why people use this rule, and I want you to be honest about which reason applies to you, because the reason behind your no contact is going to determine whether it works or destroys you. The first reason is protection. Some people go no contact because they are in a situation that is actively hurting them. Maybe it was toxic, maybe it was abusive, maybe it was unpredictable and chaotic and exhausting. And they realized that the only way to save themselves was to cut the source of the pain completely. For these people, no contact is not a strategy. It is survival. It is a wall built not to make someone miss them, but to keep themselves safe. The second reason is pride. Some people go no contact because they refuse to be the one who looks desperate. They refuse to be the one who keeps reaching out after getting nothing in return. They do not want to be the person who chases. So they flip the script and stop completely. And while there is nothing wrong with having dignity, sometimes this version of no contact is more about ego than healing. It is about not wanting to be the one who lost, not about actually moving on. The third reason, and this is the one that applies to most of you, is hope. You go no contact because somewhere deep down you believe it will work. You believe that if you disappear, they will realize what they lost. You believe that the silence will wake something up in them. You believe that they will miss you so much that they will reach out and everything will go back to the way it was. Or maybe better. Maybe this time they will finally understand what they had. That hope is what keeps you holding on. It is what makes the silence bearable. You tell yourself that every day you do not contact them is a step closer to them coming back. That pain is temporary, but the reward is permanent. You have turned no contact into a prayer. You have turned silence into a love letter you are hoping they will eventually read. But here is what nobody told you. Hope is not a strategy, and silence is not a superpower. Just because you stop reaching out does not mean the universe conspires to bring them back to you. The no contact rule is not magic. It is a tool, and like any tool, it works differently on different people. Some people will respond to it exactly the way you hoped, others will not even notice it happened, and others will use your silence as permission to move on completely. That is why understanding who you are dealing with is so important. Before you can know if no contact will work, you have to know who you are applying it to. You have to understand their psychology, their patterns, their fears, what makes them tick, what makes them run, what makes them stay. And that is exactly what we are going to do next, because once you understand the person behind the silence, the rules change entirely.